Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very, very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Gwen Stefani. And through this song, What Are You Waiting For? We looked at taking life by the scruff of the neck and giving a bit of a shake. So I trust you found that one encouraging. We're going from there to Peterborough in Canada around the turn of the millennium, around the 2000 period. We had Swish, and they also would become Reason Being, but that wouldn't be the name that these guys would become known by. It was Jason Dunn, David Clark and Matty Page who got together and did a bit of a thing, and soon Daniel Barrow joined them, and from that point onwards they were called Hawk Nelson. Before they got signed to Tooth and Nail Records in 2004, they had two independent releases, and when they did release Letters to the President, which was their first studio album, they kind of really got noticed really well. They were quite successful before they got signed, but obviously getting signed just puts you into that next genre, that next level of success. The first album was called Letters to the President. Now we got some very young kids here at the start. A couple of songs of that album, we've got California, official clip all about moving to California and everything that California can hope for. It's a little bit more than just the beaches and everything else. It's the dreams and the aspirations that go along with that actually make that song really good. So we've got the official version of that one. And then we've got Things We Go Through. This is a live version, and just again, you look at the lyrics of this song if you want to look it up. It's all about people and the stuff that they go through. These guys are very thought-provoking with their lyrics, and they know the way the human existence works, and the highs and the lows that we go through. So we've got Things We Go Through. Now at this point, they were doing very well in the contemporary Christian music world, absolutely, and it was around this time that they got voted the favourite new artist by fans. 2006, out came the album Smile, It's the End of the World. Great title, that one. And here we've got Everything You Ever Wanted. Now here we see them introducing this song in this live version below. Son, divorce, and the son looked up to his dad as his hero. The dad just leaves a picture. But what do we do about that? How do we walk forward with that in a way that's going to be healthy for us? We could always be thinking, oh, my dad left me, he walked out of me. Absolutely. But what can we do? Because we've got the rest of our lives to live. So there's a very thought-provoking song, Everything You Ever Wanted. Out in 2008, Hawk Nelson Is My Friend. 2011, Crazy Love. And it's around that time that Jason Dunn, who had been with these guys since 2003, well actually if not even earlier, decided, I'm going to go over and do my own thing. And so he left what was a pretty big act at this point to go off and do his own thing. I think he'd obviously been thinking about this for a while, and he thought, hey, yeah, I want to give it my own shot. And so up below, I've got actually a bit of a short documentary on that decision. So Jason Dunn just taking us through a bit of Hawk Nelson's history, the fun that he had with his mates, but the fact he needed to go off and do his own thing. So in comes Jan Steingart, and he took on lead vocals. And at that point on, they went from a bit more hard edge to a little bit more soft rock, contemporary Christian rock. And the album Diamonds was absolutely massive for these guys, and the song of that one, Drops in the Ocean. Now, this when you look at the live version below, this is what churches now, these guys, this is what churches these days. Big screens, big crowds. This is a bit of a convention. Now, just a little bit on love. Let's just go back to a little bit more. Love is patient and kind. In the concept of God's love, there's nothing wider, nothing deeper, nothing higher, nothing broader that will escape God's love. God's love is just absolutely amazing. And I really think what Hawk Nelson trying to do is just really explain that in the song Diamonds. So actually Diamonds was the album, Drops in the Ocean is the song. And but it was around 2020, and this is probably where I want to go today. It was Jan Steingart that said, hey, I'm no longer a Christian. Now, In the context of a Christian band, I suppose, which is what these guys are, to have the lead singer come out and say that is pretty huge. And what we can tend to do in these moments when we're looking at belief, we're looking at the thing that this guy stood up in front of thousands of people, say, I believe in God, to actually turn around and say, hey, I no longer do. We can be very judgmental about that. But you know what? I think there's something deeper going on here. And I think that is that this concept of belief, spirituality, this is the thing that gets us up in the morning, the very essence of who we are. You know, it doesn't say stagnant, you know, once you believe and now you don't. But in a lot of ways, I think God is more in tune with this particular story than those that have been church all their lives. Because there's a truthfulness, a reality, a rawness about this, which is just so compelling. And also a bit of an honesty and transparency to come out and actually say you no longer believe is a pretty big thing to say. But in lots of other ways, God is big enough and gracious enough and loving enough to be in those stories as well. And so I think he's okay. You know, I'm not judging this guy for making a statement like that. I think he's okay. And you know what? I think God's okay with it as well, actually. Because he's in people's stories. He's actually in, he brings his own understanding, which God only can, into people's stories when there's absolute honesty here, which is the case here. So we need to be completely honest with ourselves, guys, about who we are, what makes us up who we are. We might be putting out an image in the world, and meanwhile, when we get home on our own, that's not the image we're putting out. There's no honesty there, is there? There's no honesty because you're in your bedroom on your own. How are you going with that? We all desire connection. We all desire love. We all desire these things. We really do. Now, I always advocate, as you know, I'm a Christian. I've done a few Christian acts over my time. You know, God is love. And he absolutely is. And I've really and truly experienced his love, particularly over the last few months. And mercy, grace, understanding, all that sort of stuff. And I think that understanding and grace and mercy also extends to the guy when he said he no longer believed. So, you know, I love the honesty and rawness of that. So, you know, whatever you believe, and I'm not pushing anything down your throats here, guys, or whatever you believe, just when it needs to stand up, when things aren't going so well, how's it going for you? Because if it's not, well, something may need to change, because now we all go through things at times. And, you know, and it's in that moment that the essence of who we are has to stand up. So I trust that will be encouraging for you today. Now, Hawk Nielsen, between 2003 and 2019, 8 studio albums, 2 compilation albums, 12 music videos, 8 EPs and 21 singles. These guys have been multiple GMA Dove Award nominees, but not really won one. And they've also been nominated for a Grammy Award as well. That's how well these guys are regarded by the industry, absolutely. So the links to those 5 clips are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from Gwen Stefani, just for something completely different. So if you want to recap back on her, feel free. Well, if you've come back for another one, or this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, I must admit, just a bit of a shout out to you guys again, because, you know, at one point we lost 2 subscribers, but then we got 3 back the next day, and we're now up to 66. So, you know, the channel's starting to get a bit of a momentum. The other little exciting thing that's happening is I'm starting to get 100 view videos, which is pretty cool as well. Considering I've only got 66 subscribers, having, you know, 100 views is amazing. So thank you for your support. Keep the word out there, and we've got plenty of content to come, including these 2 girls next time. We're going to look at the band Heart. And because I love these guys a little bit in lots of ways, and just the whole fighting spirit and everything else, I'm going to give these guys a couple of videos, I reckon, because there's one song in particular that was so dramatic when it came out. It needs a video all of its own. So that's where we're going next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.